good day. I'd like to talk today about Dell Incorporated and the external factors that really affect it. Dell is an information technology business, and they really specialize in PCs and servers along with information storage. The two factors that affect Dell the most would be competition, which gets mostly from Hewlett-Packard, International Business Machines, and Lenovo. And I'd also like to talk about lawsuits, both internal and external. HP is one of the biggest competitors for Dell. They basically compete with Dell in every field, especially in PC sales. HP is actually #1 in PC sales. They do this because, or they're able to do this because HP really sells in bulk, which kind of means that they go for the corporation and government market, so they can sell lots of single computers to a large company or corporation. So they'll get lots of computers into one single building. Whereas Dell, they go for basically the more private market, the regular everyday consumer. HP also has the bonus of being everywhere. Their brand name is everywhere. They're seen even on race cars, and they actually paid a lot of money into the San Jose Sharks ice rink. So their name is actually on the ice rink. And really, Dell faces HP in every field they're in, not just in PCs, but in servers and really all information technology. Lenovo is another company that Dell has to face, especially in PC sales. Lenovo is actually #2 in the world. They're not really big in the US, but they are #1 in Asia because they are a Chinese-based company, so that's what they go for. There's the difference between Dell versus Lenovo and Dell versus HP is Dell and HP, as I said, the difference is who they service. HP goes for the corporations, Dell goes for the private consumers. Whereas with Lenovo and Dell, it is more of Dell goes for the United States and Lenovo goes for Asian companies. So it's much more regional. Their competition is much more regional. International Business Machines, or IBM, is a huge company. They're very strong in servers and data storage, which is where Dell faces their primary competition. IBM is actually #9 on Fortune 500 companies, most profitable companies, which is all companies worldwide, so that says something right there. And they're actually the 31st largest in terms of revenue by Forbes. They've got a ton more acclaims just like that. And really, IBM is able to do this because they're an innovator. They make the things that Dell and HP and everyone uses, and that Dell and HP are trying to make themselves. They're just steps ahead, really. IBM has a number of awards for just their employees alone. 5 of the employees have earned Nobel Prizes. 9 national medals of technology have been handed out to employees, and 5 employees have gotten national medals of science, which, to have those kinds of minds on your side is a huge bonus. IBM has also created a lot of inventions that really puts them ahead. They were the inventors of the floppy disk, along with the hard disk drive, which is in every single computer. They also invented the ATM, which obviously is in every bank and in many different places. And they made the airline reservation system. which if you have inventions in both airlines and banks, you're going to have a good amount of revenue coming from that. Lawsuits also really affected Dell. Between 2008 and to today, they have had numerous lawsuits against them. All of them have affected Dell's reputation. In 2008, there was a sexual discrimination case where women of middle management, normally of the 40 and over category, they sued Dell because the younger males were actually getting more of a chance to become higher up managers. The main plaintiff of this suit argued that she had been there for a number of years, many more years than the others, than these males who were getting promoted, and it became a huge lawsuit. Actually a $500 million lawsuit, which they settled out of court. It did not come to that, which is very good for Dell. But still, this lawsuit leaked out, and it really affected the company's image. In 2010, this class action lawsuit came up to where there was a claim that Dell didn't properly pay employees for overtime, training, and work preparation time, which is big because not being able to pay your employees is a very large knock on reputation and your standing in the world, really. A couple external lawsuits that came against Dell, which were really big. Faulty parts in 2010. Dell had a number of computers made years ago that had faulty capacitors that they bought from Asia companies, which the biggest problem with that was a report came out that Dell knew about these faulty pieces of equipment, and they still sold them. And they were made to pay back the revenue earned from these pieces of equipment, and they also were made to give out certain pieces of equipment to the disgruntled customers. In 2009, there was a huge false advertisement claim from 34 different attorney generals. So this wasn't just a localized, this was countrywide. And it was actually settled in court for $3.35 million, which to a business, it's a big amount of money. It's not, it's not going to cripple the organization. But again, it was the reputation hit that really hurt the company. And all these things, they affected Dell. The competition, obviously, when you compete in a information technology field, you've got to do well, because there are such big names like Hewlett-Packard, like IBM, like Lenovo, and also with lawsuits, you've got to clean up the lawsuits, or it's going to really hurt your reputation with your customers and your partners. And luckily, Dell was able to get through all of this. Dell has had a very good year so far in 2012. And in 2011, really, they had a good year too. In 2011, they finished third in PC sales, which is great for them. That's worldwide. And they finished 41 in Fortune 500 lists, which Dell is big, but it's not HP big or IBM big. So to finish in the top 50 is really a goal. And even though they've had such a rocky road, to come out where they have, it really says something about how good they are. I'd like to take any questions right now. So if you have any questions. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, and have a pleasant evening.